What if IMAX called me up tomorrow and said, "Alright, Findawg, you get to bring back 10 movies, any 10 movies you want, and we'll put them up on the biggest screen in the world. Crank the sound to 11 and let people experience them the way they were meant to be seen on the biggest screen with the loudest volume and a crowd full of fans that actually appreciate movies the way they were meant to be seen, the way the creators meant for us to watch them in theaters, in the IMAX." I wouldn't even hesitate. I've already got my list ready. And these aren't just movies that I like, but movies that shaped who I am today. The movies that made me fall in love with cinema. The ones that made me feel something. And today, at the start of 2026, I'm making this official. This is my IMAX re-release wish list for 2026. And this is going to be a yearly tradition where I will go through the following year's list, see what I had, go through and see if any of them came true for the year. And if not, then maybe keep some of the old films and add new films to them yearly. And yeah, I just want to start making a wish list for what I would like to see be really re-released into the IMAX. So buckle up, because this list for this year, it goes hard. So kicking off this year at number 10 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is the only movie on this entire list that I've already seen in theaters and have already seen in the IMAX, but it's so good that I want to watch it again in the IMAX. And that's why it's here at number 10. It completely rewired my brain. The color, the sound design, the emotional gut punches, it all just hits so differently on that massive IMAX screen. The bagels, the rocks, the hot dog fingers, all of it. It just hits so differently on the IMAX screen. I'm gonna add some Slapper Mama's seasoning to this pizza. Oh yeah, add them onto that. Love me a good everything bagel as well, just like everything everywhere all at once. But this movie is sensory overload in just the best possible way. And IMAX amplifies every single frame. If they announced a re-release for Everything Everywhere All at Once in the IMAX today, then I would be first in line. Doesn't matter if I had to work or not. I'd be calling it. I'd be there first in line, because some experiences deserve to be repeated. And Everything Everywhere All at Once in the IMAX, anytime, any day, I'd be there. Number 9, we got World War Z. Now look, I love me some good Zombieland. It's fun, it's quotable, it's got Twinkies, But if we're talking pure IMAX spectacle, the only zombie movie that I want to watch on the IMAX is World War Z. I mean, just the scale of this movie is insane. Those walls of zombies just climbing over each other like a tidal wave. It's just fucking insane. It is crazy. I didn't even get to watch it in theaters when it came out. I had to watch it. I had to wait and watch it when it came out on disc. So just to watch it in theaters would be amazing. But to watch it in IMAX, I want to live that. I want to live watching all those zombies crawl over the wall and just tear people up like the entire movie. I want to see World War Z in the IMAX, especially with that helicopter scene. Just just now remembering like the helicopter scene going over all the cities, overrun with all the zombies at the end, and the sounds of all the infected sprinting at once. Or the yeah, like the tidal wave wall of zombies. Like the sound design for this movie is insane. I would I would want to watch it in Dolby Cinema for just the audio, but for IMAX, yeah, I want to see it on the biggest screen possible. World War Z was made for the big screen, so that's number 9 for IMAX 2026. I want to see World War Z in the IMAX again. Now, number 8 is the king of found footage. You want to guess what it is? I'll give you 5 seconds. All right. Five, four, three, two, one. That's right. Cloverfield. In 2008, it felt real. Like the found footage that they put out for Cloverfield before anyone even knew that this movie was coming out. If you guys don't know about that, like they released footage for this Cloverfield movie without anyone knowing what that this movie was coming out or what this footage was. People just thought that that we were being attacked by aliens. And then it came out, the trailer for Cloverfield came out like a few months later, and people were like, "Oh, that's what that found footage was for." But it actually felt real at the time. Like it actually, if you got on your phone and was looking up videos, you'd find these videos of aliens attacking New York, and people thought it was real. And then when the movie came out, it felt like you were actually watching footage, like found footage of people in New York fighting off these aliens or trying to survive this apocalypse happening. And it was just wild, man. It was wild. So yes, number 8 for for my IMAX wish list would be Cloverfield, the original Cloverfield. Imagine imagine being able to rewatch Cloverfield, the original Cloverfield in the IMAX. That's that's on my wish list. I want to see I want to see it on the biggest screen possible. I want to see and experience one of the most visual and intense IMAX experiences. And I think that would be Cloverfield. Now, don't hate me for this next one, but my number 7 for my rewatch wish list for IMAX would be Les Mis. I fucking adore this musical, man. Like, if you don't know anything about me, I love musicals. And this is one of my favorite ones. Well, besides the High School Musical trilogy. But, and yes, I am serious about that. Like, High School Musical, the entire trilogy is like my favorite set of movies to rewatch over and over again, as well as the Pitch Perfect trilogy. Like, I love musicals. And so when I watched Les Mis for the first time in college, due to a recommendation of a friend. Um, like I totally lost it. Like I was enjoying every minute of of Les Mis, and I'm glad that my college, like everyone goes home on the weekends, so it was normally just my roommate and I that would be there on campus. Like there was very few people that stayed on campus on the weekends. But my roommate had went home that weekend, so like I was singing along the entire time with Les Mis, and yeah, like the powerhouse vocals that Anne Hathaway and Hugh Jackman have, uh, and the devastating story that is like the war and like the Revolutionary War, or I think that's the time that this movie is. Like people trying to break away from Britain, and yeah, that entire barricade scene with "Do you hear the people singing the songs of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again." Like I sing that all the time now. Like between the Les Mis soundtrack and the Hamilton soundtrack, I sing those constantly. So yes, I want to watch Les Mis in the IMAX. That's my number 7. Okay, now hear me out for this number 6. Now, sadly, I don't have a copy of it by itself, but I do have a copy of the entire trilogy. But I'm only speaking, like, yes, I would love to watch this entire trilogy in the theaters eventually, but I am only speaking of the second one right now, because the second one, I would I would die. Yeah, I would die happily if I got to see this in the IMAX. And that is that is Spy Kids number 2, Island of the Lost Dreams. Yes, man. Yes. Like I want to see this entire trilogy eventually in the theaters because I love this trilogy. But getting to see the Island of Lost Dreams in the IMAX, getting to see all wild the wild CGI and the bizarre like island full of just random ass creatures like an actual spider monkey, like half spider, half monkey, and like all these wild creatures that damn it, what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. Uh the guy that's in like all of Adam Sandler's films. He was in he was in Reservoir Dogs as well. What's his name? Steve Buscemi. That's his name. Yeah, Steve Buscemi. He is he's the scientist in the Island of Lost Dreams, and he's like the perfect fit for that role. So yes, I want to relive my childhood rewatching Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams in the IMAX because I think it would, yeah, just the whole experience I think would be just pure unfiltered weirdness, and I think that deserved to be on the big screen because Robert Rodriguez did a phenomenal job with the Spy Kids trilogy. And I don't know why why the first two never uh showed up in IMAX. I think the third one showed up in IMAX, if I believe right, because it was in 3D, so they had it in IMAX 3D. But the first two never showed up in IMAX, I don't think. So I want a chance to watch all of them, but mostly the second one in IMAX. All right, so we're halfway through the list now. This is a longer video than I thought it would be, but I do talk a lot about movies, so we're about halfway through the list, and I know the first half of the list is like more favored to me, but I think you guys are really going to appreciate the next five. So, starting with number 5, I have The Goonies. Do I really have to explain myself for this? Like, it's The Goonies. Goonies should already have been re-released in IMAX. Why hasn't it been re-released in IMAX? I don't really need to explain myself for this. Like the pirate ship, the first ever like kid adventure movie. You got a bunch of stellar actors that came from this movie, like Sean Astin, Ke Huy Quan. I've got a Data Funko Pop right over here. Actually, I've got quite a few Goonies Funko Pops right over here. Let's see, yeah, I've got like Mikey and Sloth and Chunk and Data. I've got a whole, I've got a whole stack of Goonie Funko Pops right here. I would love to be able to watch the Goonies again in the IMAX. All right, number 4, I think is a really solid one as well, and that is Peter Jackson's King Kong. I know the Lord of the Rings trilogy is being re-released like in January, I believe, which they've been re-released quite a few times in theaters. But why has sorry, that's my pizza alarm. I need to go get it out of the oven. But why has King Kong, Peter Jackson's King Kong, never been re-released in IMAX? Like it's got Jack Black in it, which fucking great. Yeah, it's got Jack Black in it. It's got Adrian Brody in it. It's made by Peter Jackson, the same guy who did the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies. It's just a fantastic spectacle movie. Actually, I love this movie so much. I love this movie so much that I also have the game version of it. I don't have a case for it or anything, as you can tell, because I bought it pre-owned at GameStop like probably like 15 years ago. Probably 20 years ago, actually. But I got the game version of Peter Jackson King Kong for my PS2. Like, I love this game, and I love that movie. It is just a great time. Like, King Kong being King Kong and tearing up dinosaurs to shreds. And, like, I've seen, like, the original black and white King Kong as well. And I've seen like all the Godzilla and King Kong movies that have come out the past few years. But Peter Jackson's King Kong is probably my favorite King Kong movie. And I don't know why it hasn't been re-released in the IMAX yet. But that's my number 4. All right. Now we are at the top 3 movies that I want to be re-released in the IMAX. So, top 3, number 3, Jurassic Park. Do I really need to explain this one as well? I don't think I have to. I think it should have already been re-released in the IMAX. Like you got the Brachiosaurus scene where they're looking up in awe. You got the T-Rex intro where they scare the shit out of everyone. You got the velociraptors like opening doors and shit. Do I really need to explain it? It needs to be re-released in the IMAX so we can experience Jurassic Park on the biggest screen possible. I'm so sad that Jurassic World Rebirth didn't even get a IMAX release. Like it just went to normal theaters. It didn't even go to the IMAX. I want that for the original Jurassic Park. I think it's a good idea. I don't know why they haven't yet. Like they just re-released another Steven Spielberg's movies uh, with Back to the Future. So why haven't they released Jurassic Park in the IMAX yet? All right, moving on to number two. Needed some water real quick. Moving on to number two in my list. Had to look for it real quick. I think I think this one is the most fitting of all for the second spot in this list, and that is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. I don't think I ever got a chance to watch this in theaters as when I was a kid, uh, but I was obsessed with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man films. Like this is my introduction to Marvel to begin with. Like I didn't really know much about Marvel or DC really until the Spider-Man movies came out. Then I was obsessed with Spider-Man. My dad took me to watch Spider-Man 3 when it came out, but there was parts of the movie that I ended up missing. So I'd like to rewatch Spider-Man 3 in the theaters at some point because I missed a lot of it. But I want a IMAX release of Spider-Man 2 because I never got like a few years ago they re-released them into theaters like the all of them like the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, and I believe the Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like they were all re-released before uh, No Way Home, I think. But I want a IMAX release of Spider-Man 2. You got Doc Ock fighting Peter, destroying almost all of New York. Yeah, it is. You got the train scene. Like, do I really have to explain? I just want this. I want to be able to experience this on the biggest screen possible. Now, now, hear me out. Hear me out. For the number one spot, I have Toy Story. I grew up with Toy Story. Like Toy Story was first came out in like 95, I think. I was born in 98. So I grew up watching Toy Story like my entire childhood. I was obsessed with Toy Story. I had a Buzz Lightyear figure, I had a Toy Story figure. Actually, I have a special book that my aunt and uncle gave me for my birthday or Christmas. It was either, oh yeah, it was a Christmas gift, but it's about my birthday. And it's, if none of you guys know what this is, it's a My Adventures book. They had like several of these. You could get, you could get quite a few of them. Like they had Toy Story 2 one, they had a Tigger movie one, They had a Lion King, a Snow White, and my sister also got this Winnie the Pooh one. So my sister got the Winnie the Pooh one, and I got this Toy Story 2 one. And they're about us like falling asleep on our birthdays, her having an adventure with Winnie the Pooh and Tigger and Piglet and Al and all them, and me having an adventure with Buzz Lightyear and Woody and Bullseye and Jesse, and yeah, yeah, it's just a fun book. It's a fun book. But I have this because of how obsessed I was with Toy Story. I had Toy Story painted on my bedroom wall for the longest time. I had Buzz Lightyear. I had like, yeah, my whole room was Toy Story at one point. I had I don't know if you guys remember this, but if you had like a bunk bed, like I had a bunk bed where the bottom could switch to a couch or a bed, but I kept it as a bed, and then on the top bunk, I had like if you remember this, they had like a like a Buzz Lightyear Space Command like spaceship tent, and we put that on my bunk bed, on the top of my bunk bed. So I had a tent on top of my bunk bed where it was like my own little Buzz Lightyear Space Command. Like that's how obsessed I was with this movie. I had birthday cakes that had like several different Pixar movies. I had like an Up cake one year. I had a Toy Story cake one year. I remember having a VeggieTales cake one year. Not really remembering all this, but but I've seen photos. That's what I should say. There's photos of like the different cakes and everything I had. So I remember based off the photos. But yeah, Toy Story. I want to watch the original Toy Story in the IMAX eventually. Like I think that would be for me, I think that would be the biggest movie I'd want to see, like out of any movie. That's the only one that I want to see replayed in the IMAX. That would that would make that would make me just the happiest I could be. Like out of all of these movies that I listed off, out of all these 10 movies, and there's several more that I'd want to watch in IMAX. If I had to pick one, it would be Toy Story, the original Toy Story. I want to watch Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 in the IMAX as well, or just in normal theaters as well. But the original Toy Story, I want to watch it again. I love this movie so much. I love the trilogy so much, and I hope they give us justice for this franchise in the fifth one or the sixth one, because the fourth one was just not it. Like I didn't even consider the fourth one a fourth Toy Story movie. I consider it like a solo Woody's Adventure type movie. But yeah, that's my list for what I want to watch in the IMAX being re-released in 2026 or beyond. And I'm going to start doing this as an annually thing. So catch me next year, and I will have a brand new list of movies I want to watch or want to see be re-released in the IMAX. And I will see you guys in the next video.